Hi guys, I'm in south of Los Angeles and I'm partially here because my friend is getting married soon, and I'm procrastinating writing a poem for her wedding by recording this vlog. So yeah, I'm like trying to write this poem about love and like I've also read this article this morning, or actually it was like a post by one of my favorite authors, VGR from Urban Farm, and he was basically saying like that debugging is just like this really important aspect of getting what you want done, getting what you want in life, and it like can actually be more important than like setting goals and whatnot. So I had that in my mind and writing this poem and trying to like the piano and like connect to beauty and the sacred. And being in SoCal is actually really nice because I feel like I can finally have some space and privacy to do some like self-maintenance, which when I was in New York City I was kind of cramped, and yeah, I'll have to figure out my like how to set up like enough space for myself later when I go back. But yeah, thinking about like love and what is love and what is it love not, and I'm reading all these poems and it's sort of like along the veins of, oh, in your 20s you think love is like falling in love or this feeling of being on a roller coaster or a total immersion and like merging, and they're like you find the one and so romantic, and then later you're like, oh, actually like that's all great and whatnot, but like then when all of that like initial honeymoon period and limerence fades, like now you have to deal with like patience and like, I don't know, moving in together and navigating logistics and chores and each other's families and all these things. And like, what do you do when they're really annoying and they're brushing their teeth and or like they're chewing food in a way that annoys you? And this collection of poems is like, oh, like yes, love is all of that initial like rush, and also love is like a decision, and it's like making a decision every day and responding to your partner's bids and sort of staying grounded in yourself when they're going through ups and downs and all this stuff. And then there's also this like, I have this whole rant that I might do really fast about dating apps and how they suck, because like, not even just dating apps, but like for anything, like socializing in general, if you're just like on an app like Bumble or Hinge, but Bumble has like the friends thing too, and you're just swiping on people, like there's no shared context. So you're just like swiping on randos, you know, like in the city, like people on the street, you're just like, oh, like they seem kind of cool, maybe we'll be friends. But like there's no shared context, so there's no reason to actually be friends with someone. Like there's no reason why our lives would cross paths other than like maybe you're like in my 2-mile radius, which like can sometimes work, but also like oftentimes you just don't have anything shared, and like there's no stickiness, right? Like there needs to be some sort of shared like in my mind shared like social context, like a community. Maybe you work at the same company, maybe you are both part of the same like rock climbing club or gym, maybe you guys both are really into film, maybe you're both into some kind of like, I don't know, anarchist club. And like, because you have friends that are also into these interests and values and adjacent interests and values, like that is what makes you guys cross paths over and over again. And that's also what makes it like easy for your social groups to like get along. And also there's sort of this idea that like romance doesn't happen like in a vacuum. Like I've definitely experienced some romances where it's like, oh, I meet someone and they seem cool, but then like it's just the two of us hanging out all the time, and like it's actually kind of hard when you aren't embedded in a social context or with a community. And if your friends don't like them and their friends don't like you, like it's actually gets kind of complicated. So yeah, there just needs to be a shared context. Otherwise, it's just random people, and there's no reason to keep in touch because it's not like we have any shared connections, shared friends, shared interests. Like, why is this person relevant in my life? And yeah, like there's been some people that I've like had a romance with in a different community, and like now we've like traveled different places, but like there's just so much more stickiness because I'll hang out with my mutual friend and then they'll be like, oh, I hung out with this person and that person. I'll be like, oh wow, like there's this stronger social fabric that ties everyone together and makes it easier to stay in touch. Yeah, and then I don't know, I wrote this whole like Substack article ranting about this. There's more around like granularity and like needing similar interests. Like, why can't we need like more granular interests tagging. So it's like, I'm in this social context and I'm into climbing and I'm into film. And if there was a person who was like hitting all of these points, it would be like, just like, I don't know, I feel like at minimum, like very strong potential for friendship. Yeah. So yeah, I think going back to like the debugging, when I think about life design, for example, like sometimes I talk about like build a self-reinforcing life where like your interests feed into your work, feed into your interests, or like your hobbies are like ones that have a whole system. So it's like your hobbies help you make friends, help you pursue your hobbies, whatnot. The debugging is interesting because back in Spain, I was filling out this like life satisfaction chart, and it was like, here are all of these areas of your life: friends, community, creativity, work, career, blah blah, and like shade in where you feel most satisfied. And I was like maxed out. I was like very happy on all aspects except for romantic love. And I was like, oh, huh. And I like moved on. And the debugging is interesting because I'm about to pursue like a very free phase of my life where I am continuing to pursue my creativity and pursuits and like things that I really enjoy that make me feel like myself. And I'm going to try and see if I can make like money doing this. Also, I have a Patreon if you want to support me. But like, yeah, like, so debugging is interesting because there's a clear bug that I find it hard to look at, but I'm like, oh, I should make sure to not just set goals and pursue my aspirations, but also like be cognizant of like certain bugs or like I don't know, weaknesses, holes in this life fabric design that I am crafting for myself. Especially like looking forward into like 10 years, where do I want to be, that kind of thing. I like, yeah, should be aware of where things are headed, given how I'm super focused on like doing my own thing. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm at 10 minutes, which is usually where I stop. So see you guys.